Dan Hooker has always been the kind of fighter to show up when the UFC needed him, often stepping in on short notice and fighting injured just to keep the wheels turning. But lately, he's had enough of putting the promotion's needs ahead of his own, especially after what he experienced during UFC 317 Fight Week in Las Vegas. Hooker had made the long trip from New Zealand hoping to support his teammate Kai Kara France in his title fight against Alexandre Pantoja, only to have his tickets revoked after skipping a UFC obligation scheduled for 3 a.m. New Zealand time. For Hooker, who's been pouring blood and sweat into the octagon for over a decade, the lack of courtesy cut deep. He didn't understand how a single missed media duty, scheduled at a time he says was unreasonably early, could result in such a petty consequence, and it's made him reevaluate how much he's willing to give for an organization he feels doesn't always give back. Recovering from hand surgery in March, Hooker was originally eyeing the UFC's return to Perth this September as a chance to fight close to home. But after what happened in Vegas, he's now shifting focus toward the UFC's traditional New York card in November. And if the UFC wants him in a main event or 5-round title eliminator, they'll need to pay him accordingly. He broke it down in simple terms. Why should he risk more time and more damage for only slightly more pay? Hooker likened it to a regular job. No one works double hours for just a token bump in wages. To him, it's not about the honor of fighting 5 rounds. It's about compensation, plain and simple. Despite his frustration, Hooker doesn't seem bitter, just blunt. He still respects the UFC's ability to manage its roster and title picture. He pointed out how clever the organization is in keeping multiple contenders in the conversation for any championship fight. That way, if one fighter starts playing hardball in negotiations, they can pivot to another name and still sell a compelling main event. In the case of Ilia Toporia's lightweight title reign, Hooker sees contenders like Justin Gaethje, Arman Sarkian, and even Paddy Pimblett being floated as potential challengers. This constant rotation keeps the UFC in control. It prevents any fighter from having too much leverage. Hooker understands that this is how the business works. But that doesn't mean he's going to play the game blindly anymore. He's ready to fight, and he's still chasing big matchups. He called out Sarukian specifically. But if the UFC wants his name on that contract, especially for high-stakes bouts or extended rounds, they'll need to meet him on his terms. After years of being the company man, Hooker's done sacrificing his own value for the sake of convenience. Now it's about getting what he's earned.